We brought the castle home from a cellar 50 miles away. Well worth the trip. The seller wasn't the builder, and this did not come from a kit. It came with some furniture. The castle had some architectural detail in a couple of the rooms. This was the only room that had wainscoting. The windows just had metal wire mesh that, if you didn't watch it, would poke you in the hand. The doorway arches and all of the windows had a peak at the top. We wanted to change those. The castle had a bit of a smell. We placed activated charcoal that you would use for fish tank filters on paper plates in each room. A large plastic sheet was then placed over the whole castle for about a week. Years after, we removed the pink carpeting. Curiously, the builder used real-size flooring materials. Pergo flooring was in most of the rooms, vinyl and terracotta tiles in others. Cardboard ceilings were throughout. We decided to give as much height to the ceilings as possible. We took up the flooring to reveal that the house was constructed of particle board. As a result of the removal, we damaged the surface of the particle board. I am not sure of the date of this build, but notice how the former brown wallpaper faded to green. The brown paper was behind the wainscoting and furniture. It must have been there a long time. This is the room after the wallpaper was removed. We had damaged the floor by removing the pergo flooring that we knew we had to line the ceiling and the floor with thin wood to smooth them out. Here the ceiling was glued, clamped, and supported while drying. The whole room got painted with primer. We selected this wallpaper for the dining room. I just love squirrels. The room was wired for our various lights and the wallpapering began. At the back of the room you could see that we squared off the peaks in the windows. This brought the tops of the windows closer to the ceiling of the room. None of the windows were or became standard-sized dollhouse windows. Making windows was going to be a challenge. Here the wallpapering is all finished. The exterior trims and window frames were stained. A Cricut machine was used to cut out the tracery panels from chipboard. The chipboard was painted with brown acrylic paint. The glass is plastic, painted with a gloss glaze to look leaded. The outside trims just weren't looking castle-y. We stained and added the gingerbread trim to hopefully accomplish this. Ceiling paper, flooring, and medallions for the chandeliers were added. A doorway arch and the old wainscoting was fitted. The wainscoting was cut and fit around the room. Since the chandeliers are silver, we gilded the design on the wainscoting and arch silver. Here is the arch after the glue dried. We placed white trims around the windows to match the color of the wainscoting. The curtains were purchased from a seller on Etsy. We fit resin crown molding around the room and painted it white. Here they are being held up by supports while the glue dried. Ta-da! The room is finished, except for all of the furniture and accessories. The resin fireplace was painted white, and gray lines were added to mimic marble veining. We hope that it appears that the crown molding disappears behind the curtains. The left corner had tricky angles. Because the ceilings are so short, we had to cut off a cherub design that was at the top of this fireplace. The room is furnished. Later, when the whole castle is completed, artwork and accessories will be added to the room.